Okay, so I have all the things that I need for portrait tracing. I have a pencil. I have the photo of the portrait in black and white with the noir filter, which gives it high contrast. I have a sheet of carbon paper and the final larger paper. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the portrait and you're going to trace it with colored pencil. When you trace it with colored pencil, I recommend a light, bright color. You're going to follow the following steps. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to trace the eyes. We're going to trace where the eye skin touches the eyeball, tracing exactly what is there. Exactly on the line. This is really important. Exactly on the line. Exactly the shape that's there, exactly on the line. Okay, one side. And now I'm tracing the tear duct around, following the shape, and over. I'm just going to indicate the tear duct with a little line there. Now the iris. The iris is the colored part of your eye. If your eyes are very dark, you won't see the pupil as well. The iris is actually a perfect circle, but it is covered a little bit by your lid on the top and bottom. So you're not drawing a parenthesis shape. You're drawing what you see of that perfect circle, both on the left and the right. Next, we're going to go for the pupil. The pupil is going to be centered in both eyes. If you don't center it, you will look like Cookie Monster. Okay. Next step, we're going to go ahead and trace the eyelashes. Now, this is person to person. You want to trace what's there. Less is more because you can always add some more. So what I'm doing is I'm starting where the hair grows, and I'm just doing little flicks of the pencil. The eyelashes are quite prominent on this one, so I drew some large ones, and then I can draw some in between that are a little smaller. Next, let's go ahead and do the eyebrows. They're going to follow the same principle as the eyelashes. Little flicks in the direction that the hair grows, which is out towards the ears on the left and the right side. We're just filling in with little dashes, following the shape that is actually there. So, like that. Next, let's go ahead and trace the nose. Now the nose, we're only tracing the bottom of the nose. When we trace the bridge of the nose, it tends to look like Bert from Bert and Ernie. So instead, we're just going to trace the bottom. So if this were your finger, it would be just what's touching the bottom. So the two curves of your nose, again, exactly what's there. Now we're going to trace the nostril shape on the left and the right, and then that center dip of the nose as well. Now let's go to the lips. The lips we're going to trace in a number of steps. We're going to begin with the center part of the lip, which is the Cupid's bow. Unique to everyone's face, maybe it's curved or quite angular. And then we're going to trace down on both the left and the right, again, separating the lip skin from the face. The center line is hardly ever a straight line, so we're tracing exactly what's there. And the bottom lip, we're going to begin with the center part with a straight line, and then we're going to trace that back up on the left and the right, again, tracing exactly what is in the photo. The next step is we're going to separate the hair from the face. What we're going to do is we're just going to trace the line where the hair touches the face. We'll come back and do that ear in just a second. So around the actual face, going in and out, following, tracing around the chin, separating the chin from the neck, just separating the hair from the face. So here the hair kind of goes over the face. And there. Next, the ear, just indicate it with a few key lines. You don't have to get too crazy. Now we're going to separate the hair from the back of the face, so the background from the hair. Just on the outside, I'm going to start further out, and I'm just tracing the line. So if you have curly hair like this person that I found on a royalty-free website, then you would trace these curls. If you have straight hair, it's going to be more of a straight line. And I'm choosing not to do these for further out curls. Okay, now we're going to separate the hair from the body. Okay, and for boys, if your hair is short, this would be quick and easy. Now we're going to indicate the hair's texture. We're not going to draw every single line, but we're going to pick a couple of spaces to indicate the hair's texture. I'll go ahead and do that. Over here, another loop. Here, just a few little textural components. Not everywhere, but just kind of important pieces. If you're a straight hair, you would just indicate it with some straight lines. You just want to show kind of the direction that the hair is going in and growing in, and just a few lines. Your hair will be colored in a different color Sharpie, so you don't have to go into too much detail with this. Okay, great. Now I'm going to do clothing. If you want to alter your clothing, if you want to change your clothing, you want to put on your favorite clothes or add a piece of jewelry, whatever you'd like. Now I would evaluate my portrait, make sure all of my lines are right exactly where I want them to be. And if they are, I'm ready to move on to the next step. Now we always do this because you have a second chance. When you're tracing in the green pencil, you can see where you're going to go because there's no erasing when you move to the carbon paper. So here's how you set it up. You have your large paper. Carbon paper has two sides. It can be used a bunch of times. We put the black side down, and you would tape that with just a little bit of drafting tape, so it's removable. So I would tape it to one side so I have room for my graffiti, and then I would tape down the face here, and then I would take a pencil and trace my colored pencil lines. Now the great thing about the carbon paper is it imprints, but the bad thing is it is not erasable. So if you do make a mistake, you'll have to flip it over. So what I recommend is that you trace in the same order that you just did, and that you put the tape where you can just take a little peekaboo, because it's not uncommon to forget a little something. And you can't take it off and put it back because you'll change what's called the register. It'll be impossible to line it up again. So instead, just make it so you can just give it a little peek, and then you can see underneath. But if you do make a mistake, specifically around the eyes, that's a hard mistake to fix, you can just flip your paper over to try again. So once this is taped and traced, you can pick it up, and then you can add your graffiti on this side.